So tends to be abandoned by using. Okay. Third aspect. Katamecha bhikkave asava patisevana pahatabba. Okay. Either way, either big what so patisevana pahatabba means like by using. Okay. So either bhikkave bhikkhu, this is more regard to the monks, but still equally applicable to the lay people as well. Either bhikkave bhikkhu patisanka yoniso chivaram patisevati. Okay. What takes bhikkhu should be abandoned by using. Okay, by using properly with wisdom. Okay, here a bhikkhu reflecting while wisely uses the robe only for protection from cold, for protection from heat, for protection from contact with gadflies, mosquitoes, wind, the sun, and creeping things, and only the purpose of concealing the private parts. So that is the purpose of wearing the robe for monks. So that's why I say Payavadeva Sitasa Patigatai, Unnasa Patigatai, for the cold, for the heat, Dansa Makasavata Tapasirin Sabasampasanam Patigatai, to protect you for insect and creatures, Patigatai, Yavadev Hirikopin, Patichadananta. So for the purpose of concealing the private parts. So this is the purpose with regard to monk for using the robes. So in your life is also there's a purpose for wearing clothes. So it says no here to conceal your private parts. That's your purpose also, not to reveal yourself. Okay, it's to conceal yourself, to discipline yourself, and also with regard to women, what has Buddha said? There's a nice simile with regard to women. The Dhamma shines when the Dhamma is revealed. So a woman's eyes shines when what happens? When she is concealed. Like you don't have revealed yourself to look beautiful. The more concealed you are, that is when you shine. So there's a like that in that way also we have to understand. You don't have to have a wardrobe full of clothes to live one life. No? So you have to understand why I am wearing these clothes. What is the purpose of it? So then then whatever the hours you have to spend in shopping malls looking for all the other new dresses, the new designs and all that, and the hours you have to put in to earn for that matter to spend extra money for buying these things. That is all saved for you. So this unearned taints with regard to that does not arise within you. So that is a huge help for life for a practitioner of the teachings. So so in this way, that is with regard to what to wear. Then patisanka also pindapatang patisevati. Because we learned for the incident of where a monk, he did not contemplate wisely of the robes. So he got a new robe and he thought, okay, I'm going to wear this tomorrow. And he put it on the clothes line and he went to sleep. So he had a desire to wear the new robe next day, but unfortunately he died that day. And what happened? That monk was born as a clothesmith in the robe. See? And Buddha said, don't take that robe until 7 days pass. Because Buddha, with his divine eye, divine ear, heard that monk, he saw with the divine eye that he had born as a clothesmith, and with the divine ear, Buddha saw that he was calling out, what belongs to me is going to be taken. I am being robbed. Because the other monks are going to take the robe. That's what happens when a monk passes away. The whatever belongs, whatever is, we don't have much. No, we have the alms bowl and the robes that belongs to the sangha. So when the monks went to take that, he was crying out, "What belongs to me is taken. I am being robbed." So Buddha heard this. It's divine and said, "Don't take monks until 7 days." Because Buddha saw for 7 days that karma is there. Had they tried to take the robe, then because of his anger, he will straight away being reborn in hell. But after 7 days, he was born in Tusita heaven because he was a virtuous monk who had diligently tried to practice the noble path, but he made the mistake. What was the mistake? He did not contemplate wisely why I used the robe. The purpose of it had lost on him. This is like you have to understand the mind quickly get to attach to things. For you also this can happen, not only for monks. Any whatever thing you are attached to, there is an instant like the incident that happened. Okay, this person, uh, okay, his wife, he was rather old, this person. His wife had cooked him some food and he said, okay, I have cooked you some rice and these curries. I will now go and bring you some rice. So now when you say this is right, these are the curries, now the picture comes to your mind now, and instantly you attach. And you are waiting for your wife to bring you the uh, plate of rice with the curries. But when she had come, before she could return, in between he died, that person. Unfortunately, he died. But he had the desire, he was intent upon having that food. And he was born in the gospel. Later on, he possessed one of the family members and he said, he asked for the exact food and curry. This is what I want. Because now see how we get attached to things. It can happen to any one of us. We don't know how this consciousness fares on to another life according to the karma, according to that, because that is the nature of consciousness. So now he wanted to have the same rice and curry, but as a ghost, can you have that? You can't have. Only you can have merits. So now is possessed in another being and he want to have the same. You give it to him and he eats. Hey, it is like you eat something in a dream. Does it quench your hunger? Like, does it help your hunger if you eat something in a dream? The best food ever? No. Once you get up, you are still hungry. It's the same feeling for a ghost. Though they want the rice and curry like that, if we asked, the only thing you can do is offer dana to the sangha and share the merits. Then they get food in that life. That's how it happens. That's the only way you can pass on food to them. You have to share merit with them. Then they can have food. So likewise, you have to, with regard to food also, you have to understand why. That is why when you have seen in the monks, before they have dana, we say patisankayana so pindapatam patisevami nevadavayana madayana mandanayana vibhusanaya yavadeva imasakaya. So likewise we say in Pali. That is contemplating wisely on the food, which means reflecting wisely. He uses alms food neither for amusement nor for intoxication, nor for the sake of physical beauty and attractiveness, but only for the endurance and continuance of this body, for ending discomfort, and for assisting the life of a monk. And he considers, thus I shall terminate all feelings without arousing new feelings, and I shall be healthy and blameless and shall live in comfort, for the living comfort. So you don't feel the pain of hunger. So that is why you consume food for the practice only. So that is how you also should think with regard to the food. So next part with regard to the your kuti, or where you live, your house. So reflecting wisely, he uses the resting place only for protection from cold. Yavadeva sītassa patigataya. Unghassa patigataya, dansamaksa vātātapa, siddhinsapa sampassana patigataya. Like to protect you from cold, from heat, for protection from contact with gadflies, mosquitoes, wind, the sun, and other insects, and all only for the purpose of warding off the perils of climate and for enjoying retreat, so that there is a place for you to peacefully practice the teachings of the Buddha, live a spiritual life. And in your case also, you should not only be attached to these things in your life, because we know many people are born in the same houses because they are attached as ghosts, and they stand in corners of the houses, and from time to time sometimes they get possessed. They possess others and they ask for things. They make them suffer. Likewise, there are a lot of suffering for yourself and others as well if you do not understand these things. You do not train your mind in a way that you do not get attached to these things, because all of these things one day you have to leave them behind. You can't take you with them. That you have to understand. So then with regard to medicine also, we have to reflect wisely. The why I, this with regard to marks again, why I consume, like even when you sick, you get medication. So okay, you get cured and you can practice, continue your practice. Because some people when they get sick, all their life is about what? Medicine. And they become a doctor after time because they are always thinking about the medication, think about the various new types of meditation. Likewise, medication. Likewise, they after some time they become doctors themselves. To that extent, they got involved. They think so much of their life. But what should you think? This is the nature of the body, rather. It is subject to sickness, subject to suffering, that you have to understand. Then you do not get, or else all your life you will keep medicating. Even for the smallest of sickness, you will go to the doctor. It would be more mental thing than physical thing. So likewise, you just take the medication, then you move on with your life. That's what you have to do. In the verses of Arhan Sariputta, there are some nice comments with regard to how, statements with regard to how he thought about this consumption of the four requisites. Here he says, reflecting wisely, these are versions of Arhan Sariputta. Reflecting wisely, he uses the medicinal requisites only for protection from arisen afflicting feelings and for the benefit of good health. So I remember in the in those Arhan Sariputta, he said, yeah, he said whether the food he eats is moist or dry, he doesn't overeat with regard to food. Okay, whether the food he eats is moist or dry, he doesn't overeat. He doesn't mind whether it's moist or dry. He eats moderately. He keeps some empty space in his stomach. You don't have a stomach full. Like you know how much. You keep some space. A monk should eat mindfully, knowing the limit. That is how a monk should live. Without eating the last 4 or 5 mouthfuls, he should fill his stomach with water. So you have to keep space for 4 or 5 mouthfuls, and for that amount you have to consume water. This leads to the comfort of a monk who is diligent in reaching Nibbana. Because when you have a lot of food, what happens? Then you become sleepy thereafter. Then you can't meditate. He should wear an allowable robe just to cover the private parts of his body. This leads to the comfort of a monk who is diligent in reaching Nibbana. Then he says, as he sits for meditation, as long as his knees don't get wet from the rain, such a hut will do for a monk. That's all you need for a kuti. So if your knees don't get wet from the rain, so that amount small space enough. This leads to the comfort of a monk who is diligent in reaching Nibbana. So when you contemplate in this manner with regard to the four requisites, what happens? The unarisen taints do not arise within you. Whatever arisen taints there are, they gradually abandon.